The daunting but fun task before us today is to think about Paul McCartney's top 10 best solo songs. So I want to begin with my bubbling under the top 10. My top 5 just missed the cut of the top 10. And here's where we have a couple latter day tunes. Now, first of all, let's throw in Wanderlust from Tug of War. That's 1982. There's a lot of good tracks on Tug of War. I think Wanderlust as a composition, as a dynamic melody, wonderful words, inspirational, great vocal delivery. It's one of his best, in my opinion. I'm also going to put Beautiful Night in here from Flaming Pie from 1997. I always love that tune. I suppose the lyrics aren't absolute top shelf lyrics, but they're good. They serve the song well. It's a great melody, great delivery, great partnership between Paul and Ringo on that song. So that always holds a soft spot in my heart. Another one, I'm going to go with Only Mama Knows from Memory Almost Full, 2007. Now, those lyrics are sort of Chuck Berry, sort of, telling a story kind of thing. They're not meant to be profound necessarily, but I think they work quite well for what they're meant to do. And I think this is a kick-ass rocker, and I don't think we should discount good rock from a list like this. And I'm just sorry I couldn't quite make the top 10, but it's in my top 15. Another one along these lines from 1979 is Old Siam Sir from Back to the Egg. Yeah, now these lyrics are, as Paul even admits, a bit of nonsense, but they work somehow. It's a hell of a fun listen, and I love the guitar riff, the piano riff, the pounding drums here. I mean, this is like proto grunge Paul, and I love his vocal delivery. I know it's not a profound tune, but I still think it's a great one. And finally, bubbling under the top 10 is Too Much Rain from Chaos and Creation in 2005. That's a heralded Paul album, and rightly so, with Nigel Godrich producing, Paul doing most of the instruments. Too Much Rain, to me, is probably the standout. There's a lot of great songs on there. Pretty much every one of them is top shelf Paul, but I'm going to put that one up for consideration just under the top 10. All right, so now let's go to the top 10. I decided not to rank these because, they're all fantastic, and that would really just, it's just like parsing, grains of granularity of masterpiece that I don't really think is necessary. So we're just going to go through these chronologically as what I believe are the best Paul McCartney solo songs. All right? Unsurprisingly, we're going to have to start with one of his first tunes from his first album, Maybe I'm Amazed, 1970. So as we know, he does much of this album at his home, just kind of layering tracks on a 4-track little machine, and it's very sort of raw and very very primitive, but cool, loose, effective, wonderful album overall. He does go into Abbey Road for a couple tunes at the end of the sessions, and one of which is Maybe I'm Amazed. I think he's got Linda on vocals a little bit on that song, but otherwise it's pure Paul all the way around. It's one of his greatest, if not his greatest, love song, with his relationship with Linda still flourishing and growing, expanding, and the depth of his love really coming out here. Also, you get a kind of a sense of the struggle he was going through with the other guys in the Beatles at that time, and how Linda was really a lifeline to him. So you got the inspiration of Beatle Paul, right at his heights from Abbey Road, putting the song together, but then also just that extra feel because of what's going on at the time, both good and bad. The good with Linda, the bad with the Beatles at the time. So what else can we say? We all know it's a drop-dead classic, and his vocal is one of his greatest of all time, and it's a paean to love that stands for the ages. How about that? All right, now, number 2 in our top 10, I'm going to go with Another Day. So this is his first single. I'm going to hold up Wingspan, which is a great compilation, by the way. And it does have this song on there, Another Day. So this is 1971. This is from the Ram sessions, but he decided to release this as a Paul McCartney single. It does have Denny Seiwell on drums. This is a really interesting song in a number of ways. I mean, for one, it's got a out of this world bass line. All right, let's not step over that. The bass line on Another Day is fantastic, and the sound, the tone of the bass is killer. The lyrics are just pure Paul, very interesting, observational, like empathizing, I guess, with just sort of a normal woman, probably a 20-something woman, kind of getting her life together, going to work, figuring it out, looking for the partner that she's going to spend her life with, and he kind of just captures a slice of that life. And I think he does it very well. Pure Paul in these kind of songs, he doesn't try to over-sing it. He just sticks to the melody, sings it straight, and it's perfect. You got the wonderful harmonies in there. Yeah, it's just, I think, a perfect single. Like, what a way to start your solo career as a single. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Maybe I'm amazed wasn't a single, but Another Day is a hell of a good start. I think it stands up. I guess I'm a little bit defensive about it because some people might think of it as a little bit on the slight side. But what's wrong with that? To do something semi-slight, but have it be so beautiful, so catchy, so perfectly arranged and delivered. Not everybody can do that. And so for me, I've always loved it, and it's got to go in my top 10. Now, number 3, we're going to go to Ram and Backseat of My Car. Now here he gets a little bit on the bombastic side, which is another facet of his musical personality. So he, gives us the soothing Paul in part of the song. He gives us the kind of exuberant and raging, screaming Paul on other parts. This is a very dynamic song, and it's just a beautiful take on teenage love. Again, it's not heavy. It's not going to fit on Plastic Ono Band, but you don't always want to listen to Plastic Ono Band, and it fits perfectly on this, and it's another masterpiece. I wish he'd play it live. Many of us have, kind of yearned for him to play this live over the years, and he never has. It might be too late, but I guess we can imagine it. All right, now going to number 4 on my list, and 5 actually, 4 and 5. We got to go to Band on the Run, and I got to take the title track, and I got to take Jet. Many Paul McCartney fans could start to get a little worn out of these songs because they're played so often, they've been played so often. But again, we're trying to look at this objectively. these are incredible songs. Now, Band on the Run itself is a mini suite with 3 distinct parts. When he gets into the main part of it, it's absolutely soaring. The lyrics are killer in this. The drumming is killer. The melody is perfect. I mean, this is pure Paul at his best. This would fit on Abbey Road. This would fit on Sgt. Pepper. I mean, this is classic Paul McCartney. Yeah, I'm going overboard on Band on the Run because that possibly could vie for one of his best solo songs of all time. Certainly it's in his top 10. Now, Jet, the lyrics are just nonsense, but this is rock and roll, and they work. And the way he delivers it is such perfection. He brings such charisma to his delivery on this. It's like perfect power pop. You can't help but listen to Jet and get pumped up. It's got to be there for me. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6. We're going to go to Venus and Mars, 1975. Listen to What the Man Said. Yeah, we're going to take the single. I know I'm taking singles in a lot of cases here, but you know, it's not an accident. Sometimes those are the best songs that they're releasing as the singles. And there are a lot of good songs on Venus and Mars, but I've always loved Listen to What the Man Said. Again, it's pure Paul. I just don't know of anybody else who could write something quite like this. And with that type of arrangement, again, sung just straight. Just stick to the melody and sing it. You don't have to do histrionics. And it's perfect. The what is it? Who's the Tom Scott solo in there is perfect. Was it piccolo, trumpet, something like that? The harmonies, Danny and Linda, just absolute knockout tune, man. I mean, it's like the best of Paul McCartney pop. I think it's intelligent pop, but it's infectious. All right, moving on. Number 7, another single from At the Speed of Sound. I think this is, again, undeniable ultimately. And of course, I'm talking about Silly Love Songs. Who else but Paul McCartney could think of this, could conceive of it, could put it together and deliver it like this? Now, Danny and Linda really add to this with their vocal harmonies. But in the demo, you can even hear Paul's got this whole thing figured out in his head. The bass line, again, is for the ages. And it's a little bit repetitive, you could say, but it's pure bliss throughout. To me, you can't deny it. All right. We have just 3 songs left. What will we put in here? Well, for me, I have to put With a Little Luck from London Town, 1978. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is another one you could say, what? Some people might say it's cheesy or, kind of just schmaltzy. I say, no. This is inspirational to me. Every time I hear it, I'm struck by the positivity of it. It makes me feel better about my life. And I love the long version on the album with that long, quiet interlude, which finally explodes into the crescendo of the chorus a few times at the end. The rousing Paul vocal on this. Love it. All right, 2 left. We're going to go back to Wingspan because I'm going to put in Daytime, Nighttime Suffering from 1979. Paul has said he believes this is one of his best solo songs. I think so too. Since the moment I heard it, I think this is a fantastic composition. As the story goes, they needed a B-side for Good Night Tonight. Everybody went off and tried to write the song. Paul came in after the weekend, said, I got it. And sure enough, he did, because he delivered Daytime, Nighttime Suffering. These are some of the best Paul McCartney lyrics ever, certainly in his solo career. Mighty River and all of that. What does she get for all the love she gave you? They're on the ladder of regret. It touches me. I think it's just, this is again pure pop, rousing, perfect 70s rock with that undeniable Paul McCartney melody and vocal delivery. All right, last one. I'm going with No More Lonely Nights from Broad Street. Some would say his last, absolute knockout single from his solo career. I don't know. I think he had others that were pretty good, but I do love this one. I love the David Gilmour solo. I love the melody in here. This is not meant, again, to be anything heavy or, deep, but if you're a fan of love and romance, it's important and it is meaningful. I know Paul is, I know I am, I know probably you are, so I think he killed it on this. One of his best melodies, again, one of his best vocal deliveries, all-time Paul McCartney tune. All right, so that's my top 10. Running through those again, we got Maybe I'm Amazed, Another Day, Backseat of My Car, Ben on the Run, and Jet. Listen to What the Man Said, Silly Love Songs, With a Little Luck, Daytime, Nighttime Suffering, and No More Lonely Nights. Whew! That was fun, but also challenging. Love to hear what you think in the comments below. Please give us a like on this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you like what you hear and you enjoy this sort of musical analysis kind of stuff. You could check out my other videos also. Thanks for watching this one. Hope you have a great day. Take care.